In the shadows of 2020, a tragedy unfolded, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human heart. This is the story of Mary Collins, a young woman whose life, marked by vulnerability and innocence, was brutally extinguished by those she mistakenly believed were her friends. Prepare yourself, true crime aficionados, for a descent into a world of calculated cruelty and unimaginable betrayal. This is not just a story, it's a chilling exploration of the depths of human depravity and the devastating consequences of unchecked malice. Born on July 6, 2000, in the quiet landscapes of North Carolina, Mary's life was immediately touched by both love and adversity. Her mother, Cassie Del Pezzo, provided initial care, but it was her grandmother, Mia Alderman, who became her unwavering anchor. Mia's love filled a void, nurturing Mary through challenges that would have broken a lesser spirit. At the tender age of 3, a diagnosis of 22q11. 2 deletion syndrome cast a long shadow. This genetic anomaly brought developmental delays and learning challenges, demanding lifelong medical and therapeutic interventions. It was a burden she carried with grace, a testament to her inherent strength. But fate wasn't finished testing her. Doctors discovered a hidden submucous cleft palate, a silent defect that threatened her ability to speak. The prospect of a life without spoken words loomed large, a cruel twist of fate for a child yearning to connect. Yet Mary, with her indomitable spirit, defied the odds. Long before words graced her lips, she communicated through a symphony of signs, gestures, and the inked words of a cherished notebook. Her first mastered sign, friend. A poignant foreshadowing of her innate desire for connection, a desire that would ultimately lead to her tragic demise. At 6, she shattered expectations, her voice rising against the odds. By 8, she was participating in a 22q syndrome study, each contribution rewarded with $100. But Mary's heart knew no bounds of self-interest. Every cent was offered to Smile Train, a beacon of hope providing cleft palate surgeries to children in need. An 8-year-old with the heart of a saint. Even then, she yearned to gift others the very joy she'd received. The ability to smile, to speak. This selfless act reveals the core of Mary's being, a profound empathy and a desire to alleviate the suffering of others. Mary, described as a fragile soul, left an indelible mark on those who knew her. Her elementary school principal recalled her unwavering desire for comforting hugs in the hallway. Education presented a demanding climb, and her unique speech patterns made her a target for the cruel barbs of childhood bullies. Later in high school, love blossomed with La Vie Femme. Their friendship evolved into romance, but the relationship eventually faltered. It was speculated that Mary's interests were not focused on a physical relationship, but this did not shatter the underlying friendship. But this moment would portend the darkness of La Vie's future actions. Post-graduation, her peers ventured into the world of higher education, while Mary, due to 22q syndrome, remained cognitively tethered to the developmental stage of a 15-year-old. As her siblings and cousins drifted away, she found herself exposed, unable to distinguish between genuine friendship and insidious deceit. Tragically, Mary possessed a profound naivete, a belief in the inherent goodness of humanity, blind to the looming shadows. At approximately 18, the digital realm became her battleground. Disturbing messages began to infiltrate her online presence, a relentless fixation from an unseen tormentor. This individual launched a campaign of emotional warfare, alternating between vicious trolling comments on her photos and insincere apologies, creating a harrowing cycle of harassment and manipulation. This was not mere teenage cyberbullying. It was the calculated cruelty of a 24-year-old woman, Kelly Levy. Kelly, a product of South Carolina's opulent enclaves, a child of immense wealth, accustomed to every whim being satisfied, a true silver spoon princess. So, what fueled her obsession with Mary? The answer lay in a tangled web of jealousy. Kelly had entered into a relationship with Mary's former boyfriend, Lavi. It was painfully clear that she was consumed by envy of Mary. The desire to inflict pain became her perverse pleasure. Kelly's reputation as a serial online harasser preceded her, and Mary was merely her latest target. The insidious manipulation persisted. One moment a feigned confidant, the next a vicious tormentor. Even Lavi joined the chorus of cruelty, their hateful comments compounding the torment. Kelly, impersonating Lavi, lured Mary into false dialogues, then abruptly switched, accusing her of pursuing her boyfriend. A trap of profound cruelty, a psychological torture that was played out over an undefined period of time. Her family pleaded with her, warning her that these individuals were not her friends. However, Mary did not understand. Her disposition prevented her from doing so. She therefore would forgive them. Sadly, Mary believed the false acts of friendship. On March 28, 2020, Kelly and Lavi extended an invitation to Mary, asking her to visit their apartment. Mary's family, familiar with the treacherous dynamics, strongly objected. Her grandmother Mia begged her to stay. But Mary, craving independence, insisted. Mia, as she so often did, relented. Mary departed, driven to the upscale North Davidson apartment in Charlotte, at the Yard Apartments complex by an Uber sent by her supposed friends, Kelly and Lavi. At 19, Mary stepped out of her home around 2:30 p.m. on March 28, 2020. She was last seen walking along Burnley Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. And then she vanished. Once Mary entered Kelly and Lavi's apartment, her phone signal died and her social media presence ceased. This was wildly uncharacteristic of Mary, and her family's concern escalated rapidly. The clock ticked on, and March 29th dawned. Her grandmother, engulfed by an ominous dread, realized that over 24 hours had passed without a word from Mary. But before her grandmother could... Instead of a frantic search, a chilling facade was erected. Lavi posted a video, a carefully curated illusion of camaraderie. Lavi, Kelly, and Mary, collecting her favorite takeout, laughter echoing, a picture of normalcy. It was a calculated deception, temporarily quelling any immediate alarm. Mary, seemingly safe for now. But the moment they re-entered that apartment, the stage was set for a descent into unimaginable horror. As the night deepened, Lavi and Kelly extended their circle, inviting others into their twisted game. First, James Salero, a 21-year-old with a rap sheet stretching back to 2017, a catalogue of violence, robbery with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit armed robbery, reckless driving, hit and run. A man steeped in darkness. Shortly after James arrived, he summoned his 18-year-old Tinder date, America Deal. He lured her with a cryptic message. A strange girl in Kelly's apartment, referring to Mary. America entered a scene of debauchery. Lavi, Kelly, James, and America, a vortex of alcohol and illicit substances. It's believed that Mary, true to her character, abstained. However, Lavi laced her drinks with a sinister cocktail, Xanax and MDMA. A chilling text message to Kelly confirmed it. Another bar down. A single bar of Xanax, 4 times the typical dose, enough to disorient any unsuspecting victim. Combined with MDMA, it plunged Mary into a terrifying state of vulnerability, a tempest of fluctuating emotions. Lavi, in a casual text to James, who was in the room, reported on the progress of drugging Mary. Drugging a woman with Xanax, a tactic chillingly familiar in cases of sexual assault. Mary's consciousness began to ebb and flow, her grip on reality slipping away. And then, they made their move. A proposition of a threesome, a plan they had meticulously crafted. But Mary, just as in her youth, recoiled from physical intimacy with Lavi. And according to court proceedings, she had no interest in Kelly either. They were not happy with her refusal. Kelly's mask of friendship shattered, revealing a face of sadistic cruelty. America, according to some, retreated to bed, though this remains uncertain. On Kelly's command, James placed a dog collar around Mary's neck, attaching a leash. They forced her into the master bedroom's ensuite bathroom, binding her hands and feet with clothing. They shoved her into the bathtub, a stage set for their macabre performance. Mary, with her delicate frame, was utterly defenseless. Her cleft palate silenced any screams, leaving her trapped in a drugged haze. Kelly, Lavi, and James retrieved knives from the kitchen, including a serrated blade. They returned to the bathroom, and the torture began. At first, the cuts were calculated, superficial wounds designed to maximize pain, not deliver a swift death. Her legs and torso became a canvas of suffering, each incision a testament to the perpetrator's chilling intent. The violence escalated, with repeated stabbings, each shallow wound meticulously placed to prolong the agony. In a frenzy fueled by bloodlust, one of the perpetrators, Kelly, accidentally cut Lavi, a stark reminder of the chaotic nature of their heinous act. In total, Mary was stabbed an incomprehensible 157 times. The brutality didn't end there. They then bludgeoned her head with bottles, inflicting severe blunt force trauma to her head and scalp. During this agonizing ordeal, Lavi and James gratified themselves, adding another layer of depravity to their already unspeakable acts. Eventually, growing bored of their sadistic game, they abandoned Mary in the bathtub, leaving her to slowly succumb to her brutal, calculated demise. The dehumanization didn't end with Mary's death. America, another individual involved, claimed she set her alarm for 7 a.m. to take her mother to work, attempting to create a false alibi. She left, grabbing cigarettes, and met James at her mother's workplace before they both returned to the apartment, further weaving a web of deceit. America entered, James closing the door behind her, trapping her in this nightmare. Then the bathroom door opened, revealing Mary's body, a grotesque tapestry of wounds, her neck slashed, a chain leash encircling it. She was not allowed to leave, not until she helped them clean up their mess. America claimed she was threatened with rape and murder if she refused, forced into becoming an accomplice against her will. As America wrapped Mary's lifeless body, Lavi made a chilling declaration. He and James had raped Mary as she lay dying, and in her final moments, they had slit her throat. They cut a large hole in the underside of the master bedroom mattress, placing Mary's body inside, along with clothing and cleaning supplies, attempting to conceal their heinous crime. They duct-taped the mattress shut, hoping to dispose of the body later, believing they could erase their actions. Meanwhile, at Mary's home, her grandmother Mia's calls went unanswered. a growing sense of dread consuming her. On March 30th, 2020, Mary's phone was off, amplifying her grandmother Mia's fears. Consumed with terror, Mia went to Kelly and Lavi's apartment, desperately searching for answers. Kelly answered, insisting that Mary had left earlier, but Mia wasn't convinced. She screamed Mary's name, searching the apartment, her desperation growing with each passing moment. To avoid drawing attention, Kelly relented, letting Mia inside, but denied her access to the master bedroom, raising further suspicion. Knowing she couldn't push further with Kelly present, Mia left and filed a police report, hoping to initiate an investigation. The police classified Mary as a missing person, but Mia stressed Mary's vulnerability, her potential danger, pleading for them to take her concerns seriously. The next day, March 31st, the officer who responded to Mia's 911 call knocked on the apartment door, but received no answer and left. The police dismissed it as a typical missing person case, an adult gone for a few days, a tragic miscalculation that would have devastating consequences. Dismissed as low risk, a label that would haunt the investigation, the police, swayed by a false tip that Mary frequently ran away, ignored the desperate pleas of her family. Resources were withheld, investigations were half-hearted, a clear indication of systemic failure. Undeterred, the family pressed on, seeking surveillance footage from Kelly's apartment complex, hoping to find a trace of Mary since March 28th. Finally, the police agreed to accompany Mary's mother to the apartment, but their actions remained inadequate. Lavi answered, refusing entry without a warrant, further delaying the investigation. After tense negotiations, he reluctantly allowed Mary's mother inside, but the apartment was a chaotic mess, a clear sign of something amiss. In the bedroom, the ensuite bathroom door was shut, and Mary's mother saw Kelly feigning sleep under the sheets, a calculated deception to prevent them from searching the bed, where Mary's body was concealed inside the mattress. The family was enraged, convinced something horrific had occurred within those walls, their suspicions growing stronger with each passing moment. Adding insult to injury, the police, upon leaving, told the apartment office manager that CCTV footage was unnecessary, a decision that would prove to be a critical error. Days later, that month's footage was destroyed, a critical loss for future trials, erasing potential evidence that could have brought justice sooner. On April 1st, 5 days after Mary's disappearance, the family distributed flyers and posters, determined to find her. They initiated 24-hour surveillance of the apartment, determined to prevent anyone from leaving undetected, their resolve unwavering. But Lavi and Kelly discovered they were being watched and called 911, claiming they felt unsafe, attempting to manipulate the situation to their advantage. The lead detective then demanded the family cease their surveillance, further hindering their efforts to find Mary. On April 2nd, 2020, the family hired bloodhounds and drones to search the surrounding areas, while the police remained idle, their lack of action a stark contrast to the family's desperate efforts. Then, a breakthrough. A witness, a friend of James, came forward with chilling information, a turning point in the investigation. James had confessed to attending a party where Mary was drugged, beaten, murdered, and hidden under a mattress, revealing the horrifying truth. With this new information, the lead detective went to the apartment, but instead of conducting a thorough search, he had Lavi and Kelly lift the mattress for him, a fatal lapse in judgment. Had he lifted it himself, he would have felt the unusual weight, potentially uncovering the truth then and there. On April 4th, the same witness returned, insisting the police had missed Mary, that she was stuffed inside the mattress, urging them to take action. By 3:45 p.m., detectives received a recorded conversation from another witness, a damning piece of evidence that would finally break the case open. James was heard offering $4,000 to someone to remove something from the apartment, a clear indication of his involvement. The witness also met with James and America at a park, where James revealed more details, describing a scene of extreme violence, Mary tied up, Lavi and Kelly smashing a bottle against her head. The recording also contained details about the heinous acts committed against Mary and the subsequent cleanup, mentioning plastic bags and plastic wrap, providing crucial evidence. This was enough for a warrant, finally giving the police the authority to conduct a proper search. When officers arrived, there was no answer. Lavi was out, and Kelly was unreachable, further delaying the inevitable. But Lavi soon returned, and the search began, the truth about to be revealed. They found Kelly passed out in the guest room, either drunk or drugged, a sign of their desperation. Entering the master bedroom, they felt a chilling dread, the atmosphere heavy with the weight of what had transpired. Plastic bags and wrapping were found, corroborating the witness statements, confirming their suspicions. They turned their attention to the bed, where items were haphazardly piled, attempting to conceal what lay beneath. Removing the clutter, they lifted the mattress, discovering it was flipped upside down and taped shut, a clear sign of tampering. Cutting it open, investigators discovered flattened cardboard boxes with shipping information for Kelly and Lavi, further linking them to the crime. Beneath the boxes, Mary's body was found, wrapped in saran wrap, duct tape, and black trash bags, a horrifying discovery that would forever haunt those involved. Shower gel and dish soap had been poured over her body to mask the smell, a futile attempt to hide their heinous crime. As the search continued, more evidence surfaced. A bloody knife, Mary's ID and bank cards were found on the bedroom floor, further solidifying the case against the perpetrators. In the bathroom, a serrated knife was recovered from the sink, and a blood-stained bath mat was found, adding to the overwhelming evidence. The shower curtain was also covered in blood, a stark reminder of the violence that had occurred. Mary's family learned that an ambulance had been sent to the apartment, their hopes briefly raised that she had been found alive. But their hopes were shattered when they discovered she had been murdered, their worst fears confirmed. Her body, found in 2 taped-together trash bags, wrapped head to toe in duct tape and plastic wrap, was taken for autopsy, the beginning of a long and arduous journey towards justice. A black t-shirt tied around her neck contained the killer's DNA, providing irrefutable evidence. When the 4 suspects were brought in for questioning, they turned on each other, providing conflicting accounts, each attempting to minimize their involvement. Kelly, Lavi, and James were arrested and charged with kidnapping, murder, and concealing a death, finally facing the consequences of their actions. America was charged later on May 12th with felony accessory and concealing a death, her role in the cover-up finally exposed. The case proceeded slowly, delayed by legal complexities and court backlogs. On June 3, 2022, Kelly pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, concealment of a body, and first-degree kidnapping, receiving a sentence of 25 to 32 years. Mary's family was dissatisfied, expecting the possibility of the death penalty, feeling that justice had not been fully served. Lavi, charged with first-degree murder, first-degree kidnapping, and concealing or failing to report a death, pleaded not guilty, denying his involvement in the heinous crime, as did James and America, prolonging the legal battle. As of January 2025, their trials are still pending, delayed by court backlogs, leaving Mary's family in a state of perpetual waiting. America and James have been granted bail, while Lavi remains in jail, a small comfort to Mary's family. Mary's family has founded a non-profit, Mary's Voice, to raise awareness, determined to prevent similar tragedies from happening to others. As Mary's family stated, "Nobody wins with murder," a poignant reminder of the devastating consequences of violence. Mary's story is a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives, a chilling example of human depravity. Her vulnerability was exploited, her trust betrayed, and her life brutally extinguished, a tragedy that should never be forgotten. But her memory will not be silenced. Together we can amplify Mary's voice and ensure her tragic fate becomes a catalyst for change. Subscribe to our channel Into the Crime Depths, hit the like button and the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest investigations. Let's delve into the depths of the crime and bring the truth to light. Thank you.